Today's video, as you can see by the title and the thumbnail, is I'm going over my cybersecurity background, how I started, how I went from making 40K, like 41K a year, to over 350,000, really over 400,000 in cybersecurity as a identity access management, coming from a junior identity access management analyst role to a identity access management engineer role. And in this video, we're talking about the steps I took, what you can do to take those steps. We'll talk a little bit about the job market as well in this one video. So this will be a long video, so get your popcorn, get your waters, whatever you need to do, and we'll get straight into the video. If you're trying to land remote roles like this, check the first link down in the description below. In my mentorship, where we help everybody at least land roles in cybersecurity / IAM, GRC, security analyst roles, anything cybersecurity and your cybersecurity needs, we can help you with. Here is one of my long-term best friends. His name is also Kyle. He is in the purple team space in the security world, and we went to high school together, everything. So he kind of grew up with me and seen me come up from help desk support to where I am today as a identity access management engineer. So he'll be giving his feedback as well. He's also started at 40K and built his way up to over 200K a year as well in the security space, and so he'll give a little key tips from you as well. So would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so I think you already did the favor for me by giving the whole background. But now we've known each other for a long time, and we pretty much got started in cybersecurity around the same time, so around that 16, 17 years of age area. And we've pretty much taken the same route, except he's gone more with the IAM side of things. And then I've gone more with the, like he said, purple teaming, red teaming, which is more focused on like hacking systems, deals with a lot more programming than what he does. But like he said, both areas pay well. Both areas have a lot of room for growth, and they have a great job potential right now. The job market is growing a lot in regards to those fields. And yeah, I mean, it's a great time to start. And there's a lot to be, there's a lot of room for growth for anyone that's wanting to jump in, like regardless of your experience level.
We're gonna move on to the next direction here in the video. So we're gonna start way back then when I did get started around 18, kind of 17, but we'll just say around 18 years of age. I started I worked for a company before called Accenture. It's kind of like a big consultant recruiting company, and they help you get placed on contracts with other big companies as well. Hopefully that makes sense. But y'all can go look them up. There's plenty of jobs open through them right now. But anyways, I started there as actually we'll go back even before then. Me and my dad had a company. My dad still does this on the side as well. We had a company back then where we go and fix people's printers, computers, get viruses off of computers, people getting brand new, like I said, printers as well, and we'd set them up. Or if they're having issues, they don't know how to replace the ink inside of a printer, whatever. So we would just troubleshoot, and any technical issues someone would have, we would go and fix their computer, printer, and network issues, whatever. So I started doing that when I was a kid. My dad used to give me a couple $100 every time for going, or like a couple $100 a month or something like that, like a little allowance for just going with him and working. We mostly do older people or whatever, and we kind of just moved up into doing like a bunch of people like in our neighborhood area. This is back when like Facebook was getting popular and all of that. So this was years ago, like when I was like a little kid. So I started there, and then like I said, interested me from there. And I was actually, so we were doing that for a couple of years, and then it was time for me to graduate high school, and I was like, damn, I don't know if I really want to go to school. And obviously, as you can see in the title as well, I don't have a degree. Kyle, he's about to get his degree just because he just wanted it, and he's like, why not? But he didn't have to get it into what we're doing now. So I just want to preface that now if you guys ask that question, because I know I'll see that in the comments. But yes, I don't have one. He does. When I graduated high school, I was like, I don't know if I really want to go to college. So I was like, okay, let me see. So I ended up going to college at North Georgia, and I did like 2 semesters, and I was like, okay, let me see if this is something that I want to do. So I'm doing it. I don't have like any passion or any nothing. Like nothing wants to make me keep doing this. Especially after my dad told me, he's like, hey, you could get in before. Because really, I could have been maybe a little bit further in my career if I just started right after high school. Like if I just got certification, Security Plus, Network Plus, whatever, right after high school, I think I would have been fine. But I was like, I don't know. If I want to, let me just go to school and maybe if I find something else that piques my interest, I'll go down that path. So I was like, okay, whatever. So I went, like I said, I did 2 semesters. I did shit, I didn't do anything. I was like, okay, I'm just bullshitting this. And I did another summer semester, and in that summer semester, I was like, I'm done. I'm just done doing work, and I dropped out. And my parents are like, Kyle, you got to do something. Like, you can't sit at the house and play the game all day, whatever. And then a couple months later, COVID hit. So obviously everybody was inside, and this is where Omar comes into play, or Kyle comes into play right here, and he's like, let's try to get some certs. So the first cert that I got years ago was Network Plus. Me and him did like a little challenge or whatever, so you could get Network Plus first. We got it around the same time, and I was like, okay, I like this is kind of interesting, and it was fun because I was doing it with a friend. That's why I have him on this video as well, is to show y'all like my actual upbringing, so you can actually see secondhand somebody else and doing the same thing. But I don't think it really took me to lock in until my mom had threatened to kick me out of the house for not doing anything, obviously, because I was making no money or anything. And at that time, I forgot to mention as well, I did have a valet job as well. It was like $7 an hour plus tips, but it was good money. I was making like, because we had like Braves parking or whatever. Any of y'all from Georgia, I used to work at a hotel that had valet, and it was literally down the street. It was like a 5-minute walk maybe to the Braves stadium. And when the Braves would play, yeah, that Truist Park. And when the Braves would play, we would have we had 2 big parking lots at the hotel that we could park extra people at. So even if we were full on capacity with guests, it still was a bunch of parking left. So we were able to, send those extra people there into the parking lot. So we made a lot of money off that, and the hotel let us keep a big portion of that. So it'd be some weeks we'd come home with like $2,000-$3,000 a week. So right after that time, after I got Network Plus, I want to say probably a couple months later, I got a job doing like the COVID tracing. So it's called, like, I used to work for the state of California on a program called MyCAVac/MyTurn. So I was helping doctors like keep up with inventory of vaccines and anything, like any technical issues. We use a software called Salesforce, and Salesforce had all the vaccine tracing and all the other stuff like that. So anything that would go wrong in their Salesforce account with the vaccines or the patient outputs or whatever, I would be able to to see and keep track of that for them and troubleshoot. So a lot of the work was just like this help desk work. So it'd be password resets, account deactivations, account reactivations, onboarding new users in the Salesforce. So that was my whole job. And we got when we started, then we got like 1 week of training, and after that 1 week of training, they kind of threw us out there, and we were on calls all day. I probably got it was something simple. It was like 10 calls a day or something like that. And like I said, 5 of the 10 calls was password reset. So those calls are like 4 or 5 minutes long. So a lot of the day we were just like chilling, waiting around for a call to come in. So then I want to say maybe 3 months into that job. Mind you, I'm like 19 at this time, like 18, just turning 19 at this time, and I became a supervisor / manager, whatever you want to call it. And I had probably 25 agents under me or whatever, that I would just manage, making sure they're on calls on time, making sure they're taking their break, everything. So I didn't have to take calls anymore. I would just sit in meetings all day and just watch over. So I got a little pay increase. So I want to say I was at 40 something K a year, and then I got bumped up to 55K around there a year. And I kept doing that. And then I was like, okay. So COVID, and this is when COVID was just dying down. And then after I was like, okay, let me try to get another cert. I went and got, and I want to say this is around the 2021, end of 2021. Yep, end of 2021. CyberArk certifications. Yeah, I'm trying to make sure I'm right. Yeah, I got 2 CyberArk certifications. Well, technically 3. I already had the first one, which is CyberArk Trustee, which they don't have anymore. You guys go look on CyberArk.com. They don't have it anymore. So I got CyberArk Trustee first, which is easy. I think I got that in a day and a half. And then I got CyberArk Defender and Sentry. CyberArk Defender and Sentry used to be you could schedule a test on a test proctor called Pearson VUE, obviously. And Pearson VUE used to have Century Defender on the test together. It used to be like a package deal, but now they split them up. I don't know if it's because people were cheating or whatever they were doing, or maybe they just like decided to switch it up so they can make more money, whatever. So they, like I said, they used to be on there together. So I studied a couple months, and I passed both of those two at the same time. So I'm still Century and Defender certified now. But yeah, so I got those two, and I started looking into the IAM space. Mind you, I forgot. Let me even rewind. I did have an IAM like analyst position for a few months before that. Like right as and I was working the MyCAVax role, that state of California contract, and the junior like IAM analyst role for a couple months as well before that. And then it wasn't like junior. I don't know why they had that, because they switched me to like IAM analyst. I don't know what they were doing, honestly. So I was working that for a little minute as well, and I was working those two at the same time. So that put me over like the 100. It was like 140, 50K or something around that range right there, because I think they were giving like a little sign-on bonus. So like over, we'll just say over 150. I really don't remember. Right after that is when I got another company role as a IAM engineer position, and I was like, okay, I like this one, so I'll switch. So I quit the other IAM role, because like I said, it was the contract role, and the new role I got was full-time. So I was like, let me quit this, and I'll keep this other full-time at Accenture, because I still get benefits and PTO and stuff. So, since I'm a supervisor now, so I was like, let me just stick here. So I kept, like I said, I kept that role, and then I was doing the IAM engineer role as well. And the state of California, they let me, those managers, they knew I had enough, and they let me work. So I was like, okay, I'll just do the both, because they wanted to, keep talent, and I was still doing good work while I was still working there, at my new company, and both of them knew, nobody cared, so it was cool. And this is all remote work at the time anyway, so nobody really cared about if you had multiple at that time. So it was kind of smooth. So I was doing my own thing, and that kind of brought me up to like around close to like the 200K range. I'm working that IAM job for a couple months, getting the experience that I need, and it's pretty much I was just literally doing the same thing I was doing as an analyst. So sometimes y'all don't be scared, and I want to mention this as well right now before we even get further. Don't be scared just because a job says engineer or analyst or whatever. Don't be scared to apply. Because they just put stuff on there, because I was still doing analyst and engineer duties as an analyst, so it doesn't really matter. They just put things, they just put stuff on there, so it just keep applying.
Even like the year requirements, where they ask you like 10 years of experience with like all kinds of like technologies and stuff, which you'll see it's common like with all these job postings, like cybersecurity job postings. 9 times out of 10 you can just ignore that and apply. Like if you check some of those boxes off, you'll be good.
Exactly,
because really all they care about is that like what they want to do is save time from training you, because obviously it costs them money. If you think about it, time is money, right? Like the less time they have you in training and actually doing work is better for them, because they end up, getting more bang for their buck when you're working for them. Mm-hmm. But regardless, like even if you check some of those off, like still apply regardless. I mean, me and Kyle do the same thing. That's pretty much the way to go, because right now you'll pretty much, we can go through LinkedIn and scroll down LinkedIn, Indeed, scroll down through all the jobs, especially all the IAM jobs, and see what they want. They're requiring 10 years with Okta, 10 years with CyberArk. Like the two don't even have anything to do with each other than the fact that they're both IAM solutions. Mm-hmm. And it's like, it's not realistic. Mm-hmm. But if you have experience in Okta or you have experience in CyberArk, still go ahead and apply, because you check one of those boxes off.
So I was like, okay, let me just start applying. So like I said, I worked there for a couple months at an engineer, and I don't want to keep name dropping the companies I worked at, even though if you go to my LinkedIn, they're all right there. Most of them are right there. I don't have some of them on there. But anyways, I started working there. I got the experience I needed. I was like, okay, cool. So a few months later, I was able to get another IAM engineer job, and then I got another one. So that's how I was able to, make over, because a lot of y'all were like, there's no way you were making over 300-400K a year, and as an IAM analyst, the max they pay is like 150, which is, most of it is true, but I am I do multiple jobs. I basically, I market myself as a contractor, so I contract myself out to companies, and I'm able to work multiple jobs. So that's just how I do it. A lot of companies, they offer corp to corp / 1099, which those two are the same thing. But if you do corp to corp, it's like you are representing your own corporation and you can work that job. So that's how I'm able to. Is I just contract myself out to a bunch of different companies and I'm able to work multiple roles. And you know, they understand, they get it, and they they hire me. All those companies knew I had other jobs before. It wasn't a secret. And they still got me in there. So that's how I was able to make over, because I think I got up to maybe like 5 jobs at that time because my dad couldn't work one.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so I was able to get over over 5 jobs at a time. So technically, for a little bit, I was over like 500K, but one of them fell off for a little bit because it was like a short-term contract. So we'll just say over 4. My taxes, I made over 400K. So yeah, so that's kind of my background and how I got started. And like I said, those other roles that I got there are just I am engineer jobs as well. So I was doing the same thing at every company. I was just working predominantly with just CyberArk. I did have a SailPoint role as well. It was a cool role. So it was I was really dealing with SailPoint and CyberArk. They worked hand in hand. And I had those jobs for maybe like a year, and then I dropped down and I started focusing on my mentorship. I still had a job. And right now the job market is, so this moves us on to our next part of the video. Yeah. We're able to pretty much both speak on this. Right now the job market is a little bit weird right now. So it's like everybody says they're hiring, right? And then all these job postings, everybody's hiring, but we don't actually see people hiring or people getting hired. Like we have a big group where it's probably like, I want to say like 200-300 members that me, my dad, my dad's 2 best friends, Frank and Tolan. Shout out those guys. That we started years ago, getting young men. It started out as a bunch of young black men and women, getting them into tech, and then we just moved everybody in general because we don't like to this include anybody. So we was like anybody could come join or inside our program, and we just have a big network of people that work together. Anybody that's new, they need help trying to get into security space, they can ask questions. It's just a big networking group and a bunch of people that help other people get jobs. And a bunch of people in there is like, yeah, we can't find a job either. So I've been applying. I've been seeing these TikTok videos as well. I probably applied to maybe over like, I want to say like 1,000 jobs maybe within like the last couple months, and I've gotten multiple interviews. I've done great on the interviews. I get great feedback from the recruiters after the interviews, after they talk to the hiring manager or whatever, but everybody keeps going with an internal candidate or like one person got it over me, like, or with more experience that got it over me. So I'm like, dang, like, yeah, I'm trying, but it's a little bit difficult right now. So I just want to tell you, stay encouraged, just keep going, applying. Something will eventually break through. But right now it is a little bit slow for the hiring process. Yeah. I'd say right now. But I'm not trying to discourage anybody, obviously, but it is a little bit slow right now, but it's still manageable. But you have to stay consistent. Like every day I'm staying consistent. I'm updating my resume. Yeah. Me and Kyle updated my resume again yesterday before this call. I update it every week. Every single week I update my resume. I move around and talk to different recruiters. I'm putting myself out there to get more jobs. Like I said, to keep getting more contracts as well. So we'll see. A lot of the positions, and I'm sorry, Kyle, I'll let you talk in a second. A lot of positions are hybrid as well, and I'm mostly looking for 100% remote. So that could be the reason why. But
the job market is like, I don't want to say on a downturn, but it is like stagnant. I think that's a better word to use. It's like you're seeing job postings like stay up, but the companies, I guess what the companies are doing most of the time is they're trying to see potential candidates and then holding off on those candidates until they're ready to hire. And who knows what that time frame is, because you don't usually, like right now, it's important to have those connections in the industry with like certain companies to really be able to land a role a lot faster than you would just regularly, just applying like through the LinkedIn job board, going up and maybe even cold emailing some recruiters, right? But I will say on the bright side, right, because we've been talking doom and gloom this whole time, the cybersecurity space, I am security engineering, firewall engineers, network security, all these spaces like within cybersecurity. If you compare them to like, let's say even the software development space, the job market in cybersecurity doing a lot better, like as far as hiring, recruiting, because what you see in software engineering, no joke, it literally is a like an oversaturation of people. I mean, everyone's graduating with computer science degrees. The competition is high. Not enough roles, and a lot of these companies, what they're doing is outsourcing this work to other countries, like India. Like you'll see, you'll see most of these jobs being outsourced to India, and that already like knocks you off the running, because why would they hire you when they can hire some guy that lives halfway across the world for a fraction of what they got to pay you for the same job, right? So it makes more sense for them financially, and that's something that's affecting cybersecurity less. Number one, because of the sometimes even the government policies, because you're working with a lot of confidential and sensitive data, and sometimes companies don't want people from other countries. Like if the company's based in the U.S., like handling that data, these companies sometimes prefer people that live in the U.S. To be working with it, protecting it, and putting in like the mitigation plans. But yeah, right now job market is slow, but not as bad as you see in other spaces, which I think is a good thing. And I think it's a great time to actually, yes, you can still apply. But right now would be a great time to actually build up that resume of yours by getting certifications, number one. Trying to get some projects under your belt so that when you do get to the interview, you know what you're talking about.
And like I was saying, that brings us to our next point, because everybody in the comment section already know before the video's even posted. Everybody's like, so how do I get started? How do I get a job? Which we'll tell you right now. So how I got started is different from how you guys can get started today. So I told you my background, but I want to tell you guys how to get started today. And like I said, we do have me and Kyle, he helps me with it. We do have and my dad, we do have a mentorship. Right now it's still for sale. It's on sale right now for like $500, where we do, and it'll be in the first link in the description below, where we do resume building, interview prep. You get my personal phone number, so you can call me anytime, schedule a call, anything. Resume building, interview prep, certification training, certification help. So we go over all the main points to get you certified and get a job. We help you in the mentorship. So everybody's always asking like, and this actually used to be free. I did it for 2 years for free. I just started charging within the last 8 months probably, only because I felt like people weren't really taking it serious unless their money was on the line. If there was no money on the line, nobody's taking it serious. So I was like, okay, because I helped a bunch of my friends before, but they didn't start to learn and get a job until they paid for it. And I didn't make them pay a lot. I think I made them pay like $100 each or something. So it was something easy and simple like that I know they could do. And they broke it up. And like I said, we also offer a payment plan, all that stuff as well. Just put it in a message on the YouTube comments below, or DM me on Instagram at Kyle Lawyer, KYLELAWYERR on Instagram, whatever, and we can go over those options for you. But anyways, basically the most important thing obviously is to get certified, and you got to get certified first. Everybody's always asking, what's the easiest way? You have to do your research and get certified first. Obviously the certifications that we recommend that everybody's getting right now, we recommend like Cisco CCNA, Security Plus, or CompTIA Security Plus. Those are like the two we recommend to start with first. Yeah, if you're really if you're really like beginner, and you're like looking for a help desk role, we'll even start there. Yeah, to get you a help desk role, I would say get like a CompTIA A+. It gives you all the basics. It has a bunch of information that you need, and all it just goes over everything that you need to know if you're like a straight beginner. And even some people are like, oh, I might not need that, but it has it's some stuff that we probably barely know in A+. So it's something.
Yeah, it's probably a thing or two that.
Yeah. It's something great to start with first. So I definitely recommend if you guys can go. If you are just now starting out, I'm sure there'll be a lot of people in here that are just now starting out. That it's just a lot of great information in there for y'all. So definitely, if you're looking for help desk range, start with the CompTIA A+. And then if you're like, okay, how can I get my resume done? Come to us. We offer. You don't even have to buy the whole mentorship from us as well. If you just want, like, hey, I just need help with your resume. I think it's like $100. We'll build out your resume from scratch, show you what we're doing, and help you and show you where to apply.
Yeah, we'll go over it. We'll talk about each bullet point. We'll go over it with you so that in the interview, because that's usually what the recruiters are going to do, or the hiring manager is going to do. They're going to ask you over whatever you have written on that resume. So we'll help you go over that as well.
We break it up into different sections. There's a portion on there with just interview prep material on there. So if you want just interview prep on there, you could do it. So it's a lot of different things that we break it down that we can help y'all with as well, just to break into the space. But
and soon, me and Kyle are actually planning on dropping a course. And keeping this course updated, and it'll be a monthly subscription. And that course we're planning on doing is going to be IAM focused, obviously, identity access management, because that's where a lot of the remote jobs are going to be, and that's what Kyle does. And obviously we're trying to push that out to you guys, so you guys could start replicating what Kyle does to get that financial freedom.
But and it's not even it won't even be what just I do. It would also be what he does as well. So we'll have multiple different sides of the house in the security space. So y'all don't have to just do IAM. So that's the also in the mentorship, you don't have to just do IAM. So if you wanted to do Purple Team side, pen testing, malware, all that other stuff, that's his side of the house. So y'all'd be talking to him about that, because I don't know anything about that. So he'll go and help y'all with that. But I'm more so on the IAM side. So please don't look into it first before you or just ask us questions first before you buy or inquire first, because there's multiple different sides of the house. And I know everybody says it's a bunch of coding. It's not a bunch of coding. I don't really code right now. Obviously I know how to, and Kyle's a freaking animal at coding. He's really good at coding, so he can talk to y'all about that. But I don't really have to. In the position I am today, it's not a lot of coding. I know that's going to be a lot of the conversation, but it's not a lot of coding that I do.
I am no, and even in purple teaming and red teaming, yes, there is some level of coding that I would recommend someone to know, but it's not necessary, because 9 times out of 10 you're using a tool someone else already made, so you don't have to program your own. That's just kind of like a plus. But like I said, I was talking about that course. It's like a 0 to hero course in its respective field. So first, I think what we're going to do is put out a IAM one, and then we'll start, like I said, we're going to keep it updated, and we'll start adding other courses. Like, if you want to get into purple teaming, we're going to have the purple teaming course. You want to get into malware development, which is more programming stuff, we'll get into that one. We are also going to be hosting certain in-person events. We're going to be hosting seminars. We're going to be hosting Q&As within that community. So it'll be more than just a course. It'll be more of like a community where everyone's learning together, and then you're building those connections with other people. And it'll be like a mentorship type of thing as well, except it'll be a mentorship between you guys. So like one of our other members lands a role at this company, maybe they can help you land a role at the same company by putting in that recommendation. So we're trying to build kind of like a network between all of you guys, instead of it being so isolated like it is now, which you still have me and Kyle's network. Obviously in the future we're gonna build it out so that you guys all are connected with each other, and then you guys are all learning together and helping each other out and whatnot. So
great point. But yeah, so hopefully y'all got a good understanding of my background, how I got started in the IT IAM space, how you can get started, like I said, by getting certified first, learning the basics, then doing your resume, then putting yourself out there, going to different events, different things like that, meeting people, making a LinkedIn account, connecting with different other recruiters and different people like that, which we go over in our mentorship anyway. So we do all the legwork for you. You just got to come in there and put the work in yourself. So like I said, first link in the description below if you are interested. Hopefully you guys learned something today that you maybe didn't know before. And yeah, we'll do plenty more videos like these. I may make a separate YouTube channel about this. I don't know, or maybe I'll make this my main one. I don't know yet. So we'll.
You should ask in the comments, see what they
want. You guys put down what other content you want to see. We are doing a live Q&A for the next. So this video will go up, and I know it'll take a little minute to go through the algorithm and stuff. So every day this week, I think Monday through Thursday, we'll be doing a live Q&A at 7:30 p.m. for about an hour. Sure. So it'll be 7:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So yes, this video should be up on Monday. So yes, if this video goes up, I think it should go up around 6:30. We'll be live at 7:30, and that Twitch link would be in the video below. You don't even have to make a Twitch account, but if you do want to comment, you need to make a Twitch account and just put it down below, and you know, we'll go from there. So we'll start starting those up, a Q&A twice a week. So y'all stay tuned for that. Like I said, Twitch will be in the link in the description below. Mentorship will be in the link in the description below. And like our Discord, everything, if you guys want to talk to us in Discord, whatever, we'll have all that in the description below. So hopefully, like I said, you guys learned something today. And Kyle, would you like to say anything before we end the video?
Nah, I don't really have anything to say.
Okay, good.
I mean, I don't know. We pretty much went over everything. Yeah, like I said, and what Kyle said before too, job market right now, keep your head up. Just keep hammering out those, for the people who are already in our mentorship, for the people who are already in the field trying to, you know, land a role. Just keep hammering out those applications. Eventually you'll land one, and then it's all about, you know, executing. And that's pretty much what it boils down to at the end of the day. Because we'll give you the resources you need if, you know, you're in our mentorship. We'll give you the resources you need. It's up to you to execute and you know, land those roles. So yeah, call to action.